Welcome to Inside Lake Forest. I'm Eileen Luby, your host, and today I'm here visiting at the Country House, which has been a part of our community for 3 generations. Let's step inside. Good morning.
Hi, welcome to the Country House.
Thank you so much. Richard Norton, who's the proprietor here at the Country House, and we have
Kathleen Ballon,
great
who is our managing director of everything here.
Well, thank you, Kathleen, for joining us today. Buzz, I'm so excited to learn about all of what you offer here, and I know that the business has kind of 3 distinct parts. What I'd love to though is start, how did you get involved in this, and where did the Country House begin?
Well, it's a long family-involved history, and even before our family, James J. Skidmore was a decorator here in Lake Forest and started in 1936. And he operated a small shop right next to where the movie theater was.
Okay.
At 280 Deer Path. And my father morphed into it in about 1948 when he took over the inventory in the business from Mr. Skidmore. And Jim Skidmore was quite a character and had a tremendous following. We have some of the old ledger books upstairs, which is almost a social history of Lake Forest.
Wow.
He was a busy bear.
Wow.
And he worked with a lot of the prominent decorators at that time, the Adler crowd, as they call them, and many others. And also at the same time was Mr. Quigley had a store here and also downtown. He ran a very large reproduction furniture operation and antiques. So everybody kind of lived together. And Lake Forest was quite a hub of activities. So
Interesting.
there we are.
And so that's where it started, and then when did you move into this building here?
We purchased this building when it was closing down from McCallum Chevrolet.
Okay.
And that was 1972. And it was kind of an interesting building. It was built all by one fellow, Sam Dent, who we all know about through Brooks Smith. And this was his blacksmith shop. And he built this building out of steel frames and built his own concrete block and then built the building.
Oh my gosh.
And you can see that there are ramps originally that service the whole building, and still in the back here are tethers that the horses were tied to.
Wow.
And then it went from that to Fitzgerald Plumbing and a whole line of various people until we got in here.
So you've been here now for just about 30 years, or a little more than that.
Right.
And with that, you've obviously done some decorating, which is
Well,
what you do.
we got into a hassle with the city. How could that be? Because we really like to preserve what was in here. But as you can see with the encased timbers and all this, we had to make it, quote, up to code for fire. But that was before we got our preservation attitude in Lake Forest, which is very good now.
Yes,
We like
yes,
that.
definitely. Well, Richard, tell me too, now, in this main floor area, which I'd love to take a little bit of a tour so you can point out some of the things that you specialize in. You also have the upstairs and downstairs.
Right. We have sort of 3 phases of our business. We do full line restoration of fine arts. We don't do much commercial furniture, but antiques.
Okay.
And fine arts, we're capable of doing that all in-house right here with, quote, our European trained staff.
Okay.
And the ground floor here pretty much focused on antiques. And in this area, we feature American and English, where our operations in the merchandise mart is more continental furniture.
Okay.
And second deck is our son's business, Richard, and he does modernist paintings, pretty much things from the early part of the 20th century. And he likes to compare it to the Jazz Age was phenomenal in this region for music. The same thing was true with paintings.
Okay.
And this is really just being discovered now. So it's kind of an exciting era.
Very. Well, I'd love for you to take me a tour and talk to me about more of what you have here.
Well, why don't you lead on point and I'll try and give you an answer.
Okay. Buzz, can you tell me a little bit about this model here?
This is an extraordinary builder's model of a yacht that was built in Milwaukee in 1941. She was a class winner at the Chicago Yacht Club for years. Her last name was Rangoon. She sailed all over the Great Lakes and was designed by Sparkman and Stevens, who were just amazing yacht architects, generally on the East Coast. So that's a very serious model for a serious yachtsman.
I mean, everything down to the details here
Right.
on the smallest of pieces is
Right.
really extraordinary.
Because generally models of this level end up with the owners, and the owners know every inch of their yacht. So there you are.
Wow.
They'd be very picky about that. But that's just a wonderful thing for the Advanced Sailor Man.
Mm-hmm. Now, looking through here, Buzz, you have so many different pieces, from silver to furniture to other antiques. Can you pick out something else to kind of talk to me about? Highlight is maybe something
Right.
that's special.
You, being part of the botanic world,
Yes.
This is an extraordinary botanic service. It was done in England about 1820. Each plate is decorated with a different flower, which is identified on the back with its name.
Oh, wow.
A Persian geranium.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had one other set of this magnitude. We like having things of this nature, and with the internet and the way things are being sold today, we really have a world audience, and most things that we get like this end up going overseas.
Okay.
Best things seem to bring the highest price in the country of origin now. So
see.
the American dominance, when in 1946 we could go with a carton of Lucky Strikes and get anything you wanted in Europe, they're coming back, but really getting their best things back.
Wow.
So that's kind of encouraging.
And Buzz, you talk about the use of the internet now these days. Is the Country House online?
Yes, through our Merchandise Mart location.
Okay.
We're rnantiques.net and we're ameritech.net. And we also use the First Dibs site,
Okay.
which is a great cross-reference just to see what's going on out there. But you can learn so much so quickly, where we used to have piles and piles of old auction catalogs and all this cross-reference with paper. It's all gone now, and you can punch the button, and there it is. Sometimes the information isn't that good, but you're able to see an awful lot of it and make your decisions. It's impressive.
I think it's great too, Buzz, that here you are, you've been in this community for so long, yet we talk how many residents drive past here multiple times a day and haven't stopped. And so I like to encourage them to stop in.
Well,
because
thank you. We've been trying for years, but I think we're pretty lousy publicists.
because you're right here, and what a world of surprises when you come in. And they may be recognizing pieces that maybe their grandparents had or great-grandparents.
Right, or
And-
just things that are like that. And,
Yes.
and we also, if you have any questions about things you have, bring them in or bring a picture, and we're very glad to, no charge, just tell you what we think. And if it's something we're not that good on, we can probably tell you who would know.
Fantastic.
So
So
we're a
like
good
an antique
resource.
almost
Right.
like an Antiques Roadshow right here,
Right.
In our own
Because
community.
we've networked with that whole crowd for years, and they're out there, and most of them are very open with their knowledge. It's not an excluding craft.
And then your showroom down at the Merchandise Mart, that's basically for trade only, correct?
Yes and no. The Merchandise Mart's kind of making up its mind whether they want to have the doors open or closed or whatever, but come on in, the water's fine.
Okay, great. Well, let's move to the back of the showroom here. Buzz, this is a really beautiful piece here. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
This type of furniture is what our family business cut their teeth in.
Okay.
This is French provincial of the high order. It's manoir furniture. It's not chateau furniture. It's manoir. It's one step down. Instead of what most people think of French furniture, they're thinking of belching cupids and extensive inlays and all that. This is much more of a craftsman's work. It's from Provence, about 1760.
Wow.
And it's in extraordinarily good shape. It's got its original feet, things like that we all look for, because it's sat on stone floors for all these years with wet mops around, and that's what little critters like to eat. So oftentimes you see these pieces about 8 inches lower than what, what
Okay,
it is
sure.
here. But it's a very kind of relaxed style. It's very simple joinery, mortise and tenon with pegs, and extremely durable.
Great.
The fact that it's been around this long and still is in that shape. It's practical for our lifestyle too, because all the panels are floating. We have the world's worst climate for furniture in our area because it's so moist in the summer and dry in the winter. So things work back and forth. Veneered furniture is not happy, but this type of furniture is very content. We're lucky to have this. It was a piece that we sold about 40 years ago.
Wow.
Came back to haunt us, and
Oh
we
my
love
goodness. It's beautiful.
Right.
Well, I'd love to bring Kathleen in. I'm now here with Kathleen Ballin, who is our decorating consultant here at the Country Place.
Yes.
Kathleen, tell me a little bit about your history in this antique and decorating world and how you got involved.
You know, I worked for a decorator when I was 15, and I started going to antique shows at the same time. So it's always been a passion to do both. And I actually worked for Buzz when he was at the old store on Deer
Okay.
Path, and then raised children and did my own thing for many, many years. And recently came back in the last 4 years. So
Fantastic.
and I love it here. I'm almost here every day. A lot of people drive by and have never come in before. We discussed that, and it's wonderful when they do, and they should come in quite often because it does change a lot. So it's if you come in once, come again a month later, and you'll find something new.
Fantastic. And I'm sure because you're always getting pieces in and pieces moving out, that it is changing, and really people should come in and take a look now.
Absolutely.
Don't wait.
Right, right.
Come in and just stop in. Kathleen, tell me what your hours are here so people can come in and visit.
We're open 10 to 5 Monday through Friday, and 10 to 4 on Saturdays.
Okay, great. And I noticed there's a lot of outdoor furniture and things
We have
too.
outdoor furniture in the back that sometimes we try to keep some in the front, but we have some tucked away in the back. It's very hidden, so you.
So there's really something for everyone. I'm just looking here, even these old models, everything from wall art to mirrors and furniture.
Toy soldiers, prints, miniature furniture, big furniture, dining room chairs, tables. And if you find a set of chairs and it has a terrible fabric on it, I can help find the perfect new fabric that will go in your home.
Perfect. So you can assist with other decorating ideas too if someone helps and finds something.
Exactly.
What a wonderful asset you are to the company.
Well, one thing that we do that's wonderful is if you see a piece and you think it will work, we have something called on approval, and that means that you can take it home and try it. And if the scale is wrong or just doesn't work out, we'll pick it up again.
Okay.
And it's good when it's a big investment like this and a big piece to really be sure about what you're buying.
Well, it's really good customer service, obviously, that you're offering.
Absolutely.
Which is not necessarily the case at a lot of places.
Right.
Well, how wonderful. And you're so close, right here in town.
Right.
Why pass it up?
Absolutely.
Buzz, this is beautiful up here.
Here we are, top side, a little different look than downstairs.
Definitely.
I think the smaller clutter look may have been abandoned. This is our son's business.
Okay.
Basically, as I said before, 20th century art. But why don't we just walk around and
Yes.
see what's here? There's some interesting pieces here that are from a local family in various generations. This is a Craybill that was done in the early part of the 20th century. And then these are some Craybills that are done at the beginning of the 21st century.
Wow.
So it's a long haul of family businesses and painters,
Wow. And you have pieces of all sizes
right?
and shapes.
And this is kind of just the tip of the iceberg of the inventory.
Sure, because I'm sure you keep a lot of pieces downtown
Many
as well.
pieces are downtown also, so it's really worthwhile going on the site to richardnortongalleries.com. And,
Yeah, how neat that the Craybills, there's a whole series of pieces here, just beautiful landscape photos or paintings.
Very interesting. We do sneak a few of our little things in here. That's a bed that came out of the Kersey Coates Reed House, which is the big Adler over on Lake Road. That was in one of the child's bedrooms. There's a pair of those.
Wow.
And Francis Elkins would have purchased that in Paris in about 1929.
Wow, amazing.
So
Amazing history here in this building.
Right, but it's things like that that really have kind of an interest that is Lake Forest. And we're so lucky to have that richness here.
We sure are. Well, Buzz, I just want to kind of summarize again because we've looked at so much and talked about so much today. So really the company is, tell me again, there's about 3 different facets of it.
Well, we've got what we're standing in right now, Richard Norton Gallery. We have the Country House Antiques downstairs. We have our restoration service. And then we have all the things that Kathleen can do and tie it together for you.
Fantastic.
She has
So
a great color sense, and where I lose on textiles, she's a genius.
perfect. Well, I see that there's just, it's all brought together as a one-stop shop here in Lake Forest, right on Deer Path, and there's no reason why you can't just pull in, take a peek, you never know, you'll be surprised.
And we have parking, so come on in.
Perfect. Buzz, it's been a pleasure meeting with you today. Thank you so much for the history.
Thanks for taking your time.
You're welcome. As you know, today we've been visiting here at the Country House, Lake Forest's first green business, where everything inside is recycled. I hope you take the time to stop in today.